Welcome to Lunchtime News here on TV1. You're joining me, Debbie Paldano. Now, before we head into your stories in more detail, let's first take a look at your headlines for the day.
A letter from the Speaker to the UNP General Secretary regarding the post of the Leader of the Opposition. Presidential Commission to investigate corruption. President visits India today. The 2020 budget of the Waligama Urban Council passed.
Now, taking a look at one of your headline-making stories now, the Speaker says he received the letter bearing the signatures of 57 MPs representing the United National Front requesting the post of opposition leader to be given to MP Sajith Premadasa. According to a statement from the office of the Speaker had sent a copy of the letter to the General Secretary of the United National Party as well. In the letter, Speaker Karujaya Surya requests the UNP General Secretary to direct his attention towards a request made by the 57 MPs and officially communicate to him the stance of the United National Party, which is now the main political party in the opposition. The Speaker goes on to note the position of opposition leader will only come into effect when he makes an official announcement on the matter at the next parliamentary session, in keeping with parliamentary traditions, only after the MPs from the opposition reach an agreement on the post of opposition leader and officially inform him of their decision. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa is to make his inaugural overseas visit with a trip to India later today on a 2-day state visit. The President is set to meet Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi as well as Indian President Ramnath Kovind during his tour. The President's tour will consist of 5 members, including Secretary to the President P.B. Jayasundara, Foreign Secretary Ravindra Arya Singha, Treasury Secretary S.R. Artigala and Presidential Advisor Lalit Viratunga. A 6-member committee has been appointed to recommend the appointment of persons with qualifications for public enterprises, statutory bodies and state-owned commercial enterprises. This was done on the instructions of the President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Sumit Abesingha, a senior government official, has been appointed chairman of the committee. The other members of the committee are Susantha Ratnayaka, Dr. Nalaka Godaheva, Dilan Gomes, Dr. Prasanna Gunasena and Professor Jagat Bellavatta. Accordingly, the Presidential Secretariat has informed the committee to submit recommendations regarding the qualified officials to relevant institutions before the 18th. Now, taking a look at more local news now, Defence Secretary retired Major General Kamal Gunaratne attended a program at a Viharya in Ahungala yesterday.
A Sanghavasya building at the Pulinathala Ramaya was declared open by the Defence Secretary yesterday.
There is
a special program of the President to ensure national security and to develop the economy. We are providing our complete support to the Prime Minister and the Cabinet. The media has a massive responsibility. We believe that you will carry out your tasks impartially and responsibly. We will carry out our duties the same way. We will have a good relationship with the media.
අපිත් අපේ වගකීම යුතුයකම ඒ වගේම ඉෂ්ට ගන්නවා ඒ වගේම මාධ්‍ය සමග අපි තාමත් හොඳ සම්බන්ධතාවයක් එදා තිබුණා වගේම නැවතත් තියාගන්නවා.
Now, the Foreign Ministry says that the police and CID have been directed to launch an investigation into the incident where a Swiss local embassy employee was detained and threatened. The Swiss Federal Department of Foreign Affairs, issuing a statement yesterday, said Switzerland promptly reported the incident to the Sri Lankan authorities and is demanding an immediate and complete investigation into the circumstances surrounding the incident. According to the statement, a local employee at the embassy had been threatened at length by unidentified men in order to force her to disclose embassy-related information. The statement reads, Switzerland regards this incident as a very serious and unacceptable attack on one of its diplomatic representations and its employees. It also calls for the perpetrators to be brought to justice and for the guarantee of security of the Swiss representation in Colombo and its employees to be fully restored. Now, a press conference convened by the UNP today, journalists inquired about the Speaker's letter.
සාමාන්‍ය සම්ප්‍රදානුකූලව ඒක තමයි ක්‍රමවේදය. නමුත් ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා නම් ඒක පාර්ලිමේන්තු මන්ත්‍රී කණ්ඩායමේ සාකච්ඡා කරලා ගත යුතු තීරණයක්. අපි ඒ සම්බන්ධයෙන් දැන් කතා කරමින් යනවා කෙසේ අපි මේ පක්ෂය සහ විපක්ෂ නායකත්ව දුර සම්බන්ධයෙන් අපි සියලු දැනුත් අද අපේ ප්‍රධාන පාර්ටි ලීඩර්ස් හරි කැඳවලා තියෙනවා. ඒ ගැන අපි ඉදිරියේදී සාකච්ඡා කරලා අපි හැමෝම එකඟ වෙන්න පොදු තීරණයක් ගන්නවා.
Now taking a look at your weather update, northeast monsoon conditions are gradually establishing over the country. Therefore, the prevailing showery conditions in the northern and eastern parts of the country is likely to continue further. Cloudy skies can be expected over the island.
Showers or thunder showers will occur at times in northern, eastern, north central and over provinces and in Hambantota district. Showers or thunder showers will occur elsewhere after 1 p.m. Heavy showers about 100 to 150 millimeters are likely at some places in northern, eastern, over and north central provinces. Fairly heavy showers about 75 to 100 millimeters are likely at some places in Sabaragamu, western, central and southern provinces. Wind speed can be increased up to 50 kilometers per hour in central hilly areas, northern, north central, northwestern and southern provinces and in Trincomalee district. General public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers.
Now taking a look at some international news, US President Donald Trump has signed into law a bill that supports pro-democracy protesters in Hong Kong. The Human Rights and Democracy Act mandates an annual review to check if Hong Kong has enough autonomy to justify its special status with the US. Trump said he signed the law out of respect for President Xi Jinping, China and the people of Hong Kong. Chinese Foreign Minister said it would make firm countermeasures, accusing the US of sinister intentions. It said the US decision was a serious interference and was doomed to fail. Trump is currently seeking a deal with China in order to end a trade war between the two countries. However, the bill had widespread congressional support, which meant that even if he voted it, lawmakers could potentially have voted to overturn his decision. The president also signed a second bill which bans the export of crowd-control munition to the police in Hong Kong, including tear gas, rubber bullets and stun guns. Colombian unions and student groups held their second national strike in less than a week to honor a dead demonstrator and protest rumored government economic plans, corruption and police violence. Demonstrators are rallying against economic plans such as a rise in the pension age and a cut to the minimum wage for young people that President Ivan Duque denies supporting, as well as what they say is a lack of government action to stop corruption and the murders of hundreds of human rights activists. Largely peaceful demonstrations were marred last week by the destruction of transit stations, the use of tear gas, curfews in Cali and Bogota, and the deaths of 3 people in connection with alleged looting. Now, residents of Texas town were hit by a petrochemical blast and were cleaning up their damaged homes as authorities continued to try and extinguish a fire caused by the explosion. The blast at the TPC Group petrochemical plant in Port Neches, around 144 kilometers east of Houston, blew out windows and doors in buildings surrounding the plant. Authorities said that 3 workers injured in the early morning explosion have now been released from hospital. The initial blast at around 1 a.m. was followed by secondary blasts, shattering windows, blowing locked doors off their hinges and prompting officials to evacuate homes within half-a-mile radius of the facility. The fiery blast follows a series of others at petrochemical producers and storage facilities in Texas. Gammadda, a rural development movement aimed at uplifting rural communities of our motherland by providing solutions to the problems faced by them, commenced another project today.
This project is aimed at providing clean drinking water to the school children of the Sudarshana Mahavidyalaya in Talawa, Adampane in the Anuradhapura district. There are 240 students receiving education at this school. The villagers have also come together to make this project a success, as they will be providing labour through the Gam and the Savia program functioning in the area. The water will be brought into the school premises from a public water supply project which is located 300 meters away. Water pipes will be installed at 3 locations of the school, and the children will be provided with clean drinking water upon the completion of this project.
Now taking a look at your sports news now, Leo Messi scored in his 700th match for Barcelona and also kept up goals for Luis Suarez and Antoine Griezmann as the Catalans beat Borussia Dortmund 3-1 on to seal a spot in the Champions League knockout stages as Group F winners.
Messi set up Suarez to put Barca ahead at a packed Camp Nou in the 29th minute before the Uruguayan returned the compliment for the Argentine to establish another Champions League record on his landmark night 4 minutes later. Messi's left foot strike meant he had scored against a 34th different team in the Champions League, surpassing the mark that he had shared with Cristiano Ronaldo and Raul.
In more local news now, several state ministers commenced their duties yesterday and today.
State Minister of Power and Energy Mahindananda Alutgamage commenced his duties this morning at the Ministry of Power and Energy on Ananda Kumaraswamy Mawatha.
හොරු කියන කට්ටියත් දැන් ඇවිල්ලා හිටිය සුරෙන් බටගොඩ මැතිතුමත් ඇවිල්ලා හිටිය දැන් නැවත ඒ හොරු මේ ඔබතුමාලා ලං කරගනී කියලා මිනිස්සු හිතයි.
Back then what they tried was not to add units to power grid but to purchase units at exorbitant prices. We have closed all doors for that. Even before the elections they have tried to make a sudden purchase of power at a higher price. We will only take actions that can be borne by the government.
දෙන්න පුළුවන් ආකාරයට පමණයි අපි සියලු කටයුතු කරන්නේ.
ඔබතුමා දිගින් දිගටම මේ පහුගිය රජයේ වංචා දුලක්ෂණ කරපු top 20 කියලා හොරු වගේක් නම් කරගෙන හිටියා. දැන් ඒ කට්ටියට නීති ක්‍රියාත්මක කරනවද?
අපි පැහැදිලිව ඔබට
We will not act like the Yahap Alana government where as soon as they achieved victory, they remanded their political rivals. We will enact the law properly. Cases of fraud and corruption were reported from these ministries. A presidential commission will be appointed and cases will be filed. The law will be properly enacted on those who were involved in such acts as the bond scam and the purchasing of power at exorbitant prices.
ක්‍රියාත්මක කරන්න අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා.
State Minister for International Cooperation Susil Premajayantha commenced his duties at the Ministry of External Affairs. We view this time period as a challenging time for the President, Gotabaya Rajapaksa, and the government, where international relations should be handled, and certain agreements should be revived during the upcoming international summits. We will extend a friendly hand to every nation. That is how we are going to act.
එනිසා අපි සෑම රටක්ම කටම අපේ මිත්‍රත්වයේ දෑත දිගු කරමින් කටයුතු කිරීම තමයි රජයේ ප්‍රතිපත්තිය වෙන්නේ. ඊයේ ස්විස් එම්බසි එකේ කෙනෙක් බැහැරගත්තා කියලා ප්‍රවෘත්තියක් බලවුණා. ඒ කියන්නේ ස්විස් එම්බසි එකේ සේවය කරන පුද්ගලෙක් බැහැරගත්තා. ඒ කියන්නේ මම
I can't make any comment on that. The law will be enacted properly.
ඒ අර ඒ ගැන යමක් කියන්න පුළුවන් කමක් නැහැ දැනට.
Meanwhile, WDJ Seneviratne, the State Minister of Economic and Policy Development, commenced his duties at the ministry today. State Minister of Wildlife Vimalavira Disanayaka also assumed duties at the State Ministry today.
Now taking a look at another one of your headline-making stories, the UNP won the 2020 budget of the Waligama Urban Council.
The budget was presented this morning by the chairman of the Waligama Urban Council, Rehan Jayavikrama Vijayaratne. 9 members of the UMP and 3 other members from the SLFP voted in favour of the budget. The only member who voted against the budget was from the JVP. 5 members were not present at the time of the voting.
Well, that is a wrap of lunchtime news here on TV1. For more news, log on to our award-winning website www.newsfirst.lk. For the Newsfirst team, I'm David Paldano. Take care.